Hello everybody, my name's James. Welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 19 Deadline stream. And it's live, and as ever the Deadline stream is brought to you in partnership with FPL Team, your best one-stop shop for all your future FPL planning. The one bit of FPL kit I cannot do without. We are 56 minutes away from the 1 p.m. UK time Game Week 19 deadline. I will be aiming to answer as many of your FPL dilemmas as possible over the next 55 minutes or so. Before I do, let me take you through some of the graphics, because I can already see, looking at half a dozen questions, that most of them are answered on the screen. If you see your question answered on screen, please do us the courtesy of deleting it. I'll still give you a shout out. Captaincy: Salah, Haaland, Palmer, Cunha, Mateta, my top five. Benching dilemmas below me, where there's two players together. The player with the tick is the preferred option to start. I run in order left to right, pages 1 to 4. You'll find some goalkeepers on page 5. The very bottom ticker has all the flagged players and next 5 fixtures for all 20 teams. Bottom right hand corner, you'll see my predicted lineups for every team in this game week. And top right, you'll see my team as it will be for this game week. Dominic Solanke has been bought for João Pedro. 0.1 million left in the bank. I've gone for Solanke's consistency over Mateta. Will be like a 2-pointer or a 12-pointer today. I didn't want to invest in him primarily because I'm not convinced he's the best Palace attacking asset. It may be Sarr, and I'll be paying quite a bit of a premium for Mateta over Sarr. So Solanke, I've gone in for consistency, and I don't need him like I needed him earlier in the season. And I know all the noises about Tottenham defensively. Well, the only way we're winning games is by continuing to attack. So every chance of something there for Dom today. I'm captain Mo. I line up Raya, Alexander-Arnold, Gabriel, Colwell, Salah captain, Palmer vice, Rodgers, Semenyo, Jackson, Solanke, Isak. Yes, Semenyo and Rodgers over Jota. Come to the conclusion I don't think he starts. I think I'd be stubborn if I therefore just started him when I've got players like Semenyo and Rodgers, who I probably get 90 minutes from this game week. So it's not a complete loss of faith in Jota. I've come to the conclusion I don't think he starts, and I'd be just purely being stubborn if I still started him over one of those other two players. Hall, essentially I picked Colwell over him. Once deciding to pick Semenyo, it's an easy decision therefore for me to bench Castagne, so I can go on the all-in strategy. That is the graphics done and dusted. We are 12:06 p.m. Let's get into the questions. Saga says, "Hey James, just fixing up my team before heading off to jail. Got a warrant. I wish you well. Is selling Cunha to Jackson viable this week despite our bad Tottenham? I enjoy the new year. No, don't sell Cunha this week." CM Punk 2310 says, "Munoz in for Hall or Ray and 8 Norrie. Value difference is only 0.1. Hall seems like the safe pick, but Ray and 8 Norrie at wingback in a more solid Wolves team is tempting. Other defence, Gabriel, Trent, Mikalenko." Yeah, that's cool with Ray and 8 Norrie, mate. How many weeks are you going to start him? Tottenham, Forest, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Fulham. That's Wolves' next fixtures. And Lewis Hall, mate. Emil Seelix says, "Hi James, Bruno, I presume that's Fernandes, to Gordon, or João Pedro to Solanke also could save free transfer, or both for a hit." Yeah, I felt the Jota situation had left me quite vulnerable this week, and therefore I wanted to make the transfer. So for me, it would have been -4, Trent to Munoz, and then João Pedro to Watkins, or Semenyo to Gordon, or João Pedro to Solanke, or Mateta. And to be honest, the decision was pretty close. I actually slept on the decision. I kind of decided I was going to go Solanke last night, and I was like, I'm going to sleep on it, see how I feel in the morning. I don't normally do that these days. So I still woke up this morning and was like, yeah, I think I want to come to the same conclusion on that. For yourself, mate, I've got Dom, so I don't really know how I advise against different. But you've got a suspended Bruno Fernandes who's got Liverpool away next as well. If you want Anthony Gordon, this is something for you to think about, Emil. If you want Anthony Gordon, there's a case to say, yes, the two fixtures may be better than they look on paper in the next two. But arguably, re-entry point is for Gordon is game week 21. Now, you ain't coming off Bruno at that point because he's got Southampton at home. So consider that in your thinking. How badly do you want Gordon? Because it might be if you don't go now, you don't go there at all. I can't see the rest of your structure. So just factor that in. Otherwise, I'm going to say, yeah, fuck it, Dom. JP says, "Hi, mate. Watkins in for Jesus or Roll. When should I hop off Watkins and who for?" Get him in and worry about that later, mate. Other than Arsenal away, Villa's fixtures are pretty good for a while. I wish I could have got there, mate. It wasn't going to work for me. Ian from Melbourne says, hello, James. Sorry if on the benching dilemma start one of Colwell, Sarr or Pedro. Hit the like button. All it's free. Sarr won't be there because I assume everyone who's got him is going to start him against Southampton. So for the rest, mate, the attacking player over the defensive player. James Wilson says, hey, James needs to bench one of Timber, Robinson or Ahmad. Any thoughts? Hope you had a great Christmas. Yeah, never the Arsenal player. So it's Robinson versus Ahmad. Same thing, attacking player to start. Uros Milicevic, hello, James. Would you sell Colwell or Hall to get Munoz? Best of luck this game. Why does anybody want to part with Lewis Hall at the moment? I don't know why anyone would want to sell him. It's really straightforward, that for me. Shout out Vivek Gore, hope you're well. Big Lou says, hi James, hope you're good. João Pedro and Bruno. To Watkins and Sarr from -4. Have Jackson and Sanchez. Yeah, that feels a little bit better than my one where I was contemplating selling Trent for doing it. So, yep, don't mind that, mate. Rhino says, happy Christmas, James. Is Havertz a hold now? Or did I get lucky and should run? Hold. Yeah, if I could have got to Havertz instead of Solanke, probably would have gone Havertz, mate. Yeah, for those who listen to our differential, which are on Patreon yesterday, I said I think Havertz is actually the rogue captaincy chart this week. Spooky Sorcerer says, hi James, torn between buying either Munoz or Sarr. Which one do you prefer? Colwell to Munoz, bench Hall, or Ahmad to Sarr, bench Roger, João Pedro, just roll. Losing faith for João Pedro, come on, Jota. Enough up to go. Colwell to Munoz. Colwell's got Ipswich away. Sarr in for Ahmad. Again, something we discussed on the Patreon pod yesterday. It feels like if you're moving between those players priced at sort of the 5 to 5-6 range, I almost don't bother unless you've got one that's terrible. So Diallo, Semenyo, Rogers, there's a couple of others, all kind of a much of a muchness. Don't think anyone's going to pull away like Palmer did last year. So it's a case to say roll, mate, I think. Case to say roll, but I totally get it. If you want Crystal Palace, it'll be the same for everyone. It's now. It's not now or never, because I think you can come back again in Gameweek 21, but it does feel like you're attacking the best fixture and you want to do it now, and I get that completely. So if you've got players that you want to move, that you definitely want to sell. So if you're like, oh, I really want to sell Amad Diallo, what did you go Diallo for? You know Diallo's probably 90 minutes tomorrow night now. For me, no. Colwell is still decent fixture. Probably no. Eddie R says, hey, James, 1 free transfer, 2.7 million in the bank. Would you do João Pedro to Jackson Solanke? Jackson over Solanke. Or Rico Lewis to Munoz, or just roll? If I roll, start both Lewis and João Pedro. Cheers. I'd make the João Pedro move up to Jackson, personally. Tommy Gonzo, morning, James. Really want Watkins this week. Excuse me. Options are Cunha to Watkins for free. No. Or Trent Pedro to Gabriel Watkins from -4. This would allow me to bench Jota this week. I guess to kind of contradict what I said about Jota, I'm maybe in a more luxury position than others in the sense I was benching like Semenyo to start with this week, right? So I don't know if others are in a position that strong, although I've seen some crazy looking benches this game week, which is kind of a fallout from the Bukayo Saka spread of money. I think Lewis will start, and I'm actually backing Man City to win and keep a clean sheet this week, mate. João Pedro was like, if the opportunity was there to upgrade, it was there for me. I think, yeah, João Pedro to Jackson for me, mate. Sorry, that's the old question. Tommy, your Gabriel and Watkins move for Trent and Pedro. God, I'm sorry. I'm going to say yes because the preference is with the Arsenal player. John says, hi, James, on wildcard, buy Anderson or Castagne and buy Murphy or Elanga as 8 for Taka. I think I might have gone for Elanga. And I'm not massively keen on Murphy. Like, what are you selling? Same thing. What you selling in around that bracket? I think Castagne over Anderson, mate. NS says start 2 and bench 3 from Diallo, João Pedro, Hall, Mikalenko, Rogers. You will find every single one of them on the bench in dilemmas, mate. Patrick Lawson says, hey, James, hope you had a good Christmas. Which players would you want to own if on wildcard this week? Cheers. I wouldn't change much. Trent wouldn't be in there. Watkins would be in rather than Solanke. I probably wouldn't have Jota. I'd probably leave the spot open, so I probably would have gone with Gordon. Munoz would be in there instead of Trent. Other than that, you know what? Wouldn't change much, truthfully. Adam says, good morning, James. What are your thoughts on Bowen to Gordon for 1 free transfer and bench João Pedro or roll free transfer? All the best. Yeah, I don't mind that. You're selling Bowen at a position of power where the fixtures are now swinging. I don't mind that. doesn't necessarily feel necessary though. If you haven't got Liverpool defence, I'd hold Bowen. If you do, I'd have more temptation to make the move. Hasselbanki's win says, hi James, start João Pedro or Strand Larson. You start the player that's playing against a team that ain't got a centre back, mate. Robert Pugsley says 4-4-2 by starting the Hall over João Pedro and Johnson. No, I would start João Pedro, mate. Brennan Johnson is not in my predicted Tottenham lineup today. I think Maddison will come in for him. Confidence in a Johnson, in that decision, 60% probably. Sorry, I'm just checking on a potential message I might have just got, but I don't think it's anything. No, I mean, I'd still be going João Pedro. I think he's frustrated, but probably more because we just had really high hopes for him, rather than him, being a terrible player or looking like he's got no chance of returning or anything. I don't think that's quite the case. I'd be playing João Pedro over them. CM Punk 23, what do you think of Vissa as an option for game week 20? Yeah, that's my get out. That's probably my get out. If anything goes wrong with my three forwards, mate, that's my get out next week. So, yeah, another one we discussed on our Patreon pod yesterday, that actually coming back towards Bumo or Vissa next week is not bad at all, potentially. Yashwamp says, hi James, would you start Chris Wood or João Pedro? On the bench in dilemmas right next to each other, it'll be the one with the tick, mate. Paulie G says, hi James, would you start Lewis or Colwell this week? Also both on the bench in dilemmas, I should imagine. No, I didn't bother putting Levi Colwell there because that's my answer. There you go, apologies. Vivek Gore says, hi James, would you take a hit to do Greaves to Munoz to bench João Pedro? No, so your hit is effective. Is Munoz over João Pedro? Nah. No. S. Ross says, hi James, Pickford or Henderson until next wildcard circa game week 33. I think at this moment timing is Jordan Henderson actually. Ian Everett says, hello mate, hope you and the family had a good Christmas. Play one out of Einar, Hall, Morgan Rogers or Brennan Johnson. You can use the bench in dilemmas, mate, and again just replace Einar with for Milenkovic and you'll find your answer. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for the great work content produced in 2024. Thank you, Ian. Have a good one. David Llewellyn says, hi James, hope you had a good Christmas. Would you sell Bruno to Foden for their good run of fixtures for a hit or just play João Pedro? I wouldn't buy Phil Foden for free, mate. Aleska says, start Jesus, Sarr, Luis Diaz or Jota. If you've got Luis Diaz, you're playing that, aren't you? But you're also playing Sarr. But you don't have those four options, mate. With the I'm going to bench three of them. This is not a real question, mate. Sorry. Good luck. Duke of FPL says João Pedro to Jackson. Yep, like that. Alistair Hargreaves says, hi James. Shall I sell Flecken for Henderson from -4? Run the risk of having no goalkeeper. Anyone who's ever in here asking me to sell a -4 for a goalkeeper. Who's your other goalkeeper though, Alistair? Flecken obviously out. We assume he's not going to play on Wednesday. So who's your other goalkeeper? This is where it's relevant, mate. Like, what's your other one? If you've got Flecken and Fabianski, then I'm going to say to you, yeah, do you know what? Get it done. Right, if your other goalkeeper's playing, it's not a -4, mate. It's not. What's your risk? Sanchez? I mean, you'll be mad unlucky if he doesn't play, mate. Verbruggen is going to play. Is it then effective, like -4 worth it, like Henderson over Verbruggen? No. Gareth Payton says, hi James, would you do Bumo to Diaz or Jota for a hit? No. If not, would you start Bumo or Konsa? Thanks and Happy New Year. Bumo, but I get the confliction of you've probably got Arsenal defence. But yeah, Bumo, mate. Miguel Nkegby says, hi mate, Isaac and Muniz in for Jesus after 1 week and Vissa. I mean, I think Jimenez will start today, so Muniz, yeah, sure, scored as a sub the other night, but I think Jimenez will play again, mate. So it's got to be a no, but yeah, Isak, fine. Ditcher K says, hi James, would you say yes to Pedro to Watkins and bench Rodgers if you had 2 frees, or would you rather play Rodgers and bench Pedro and carry the free to next game week? No, I would attack Watkins, mate, so yeah, I would get it done. Eno Estor, who to start? Maddison, Murphy, Amad Diallo. Maddison, probably. Jack says, would it just be crazy Liverpool fan bias to consider getting in Gakpo for João Pedro, already owns Salah and Jota? Well, it depends how you feel about Cody Gakpo moving forward, right? I went too early Jota. It's too late now. I've kind of chosen my path, right? There is an out for me to go potentially Jota to Gordon in a couple of weeks, right? If I'm really like, oh shit, fuck this up. Or obviously, of course, Luis Diaz instead. But I probably wouldn't attack that till now after the Manchester United game. And the reason I say that is I think after the Manchester United game, we'll have the clarity of what Slot's best three is. Gakpo was outstanding on Thursday, and that's blurred the lines. So I can understand, but Jack, I think you will know as well as the rest of us what the risk is entails there. I'm not going to, you know your team, right? I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't know. And listen, if Jota does start today, it'll be for Gakpo. Brian Lee says, morning, James. Bench Ahmad, Hall or João Pedro. All on the bench in dilemmas, mate. JP says, start Hall or Robinson if it isn't on the bench in dilemmas. Guess what? Armo says, can't see on bench in dilemmas, Castagne or Kirkes. Can't see on bench in dilemmas, Castagne or Kirkes. Yeah, fair enough. I think Castagne. The reason for me, if I'd have done it the other way around, would be I've got Semenyo, right? So the answer might lie in other players. So if you've got Jimenez, hypothetically, or you've got Semenyo, then obviously pick the other one. I think it's a flip of a coin. I think it will probably be a draw. I think it'll probably be a scoring draw. Slight preference for Castagne with home advantage, Kluivert suspended. Next up, FPL... No, it's not. John says, hello, mate. Jimenez or Muniz as bench fodder on wildcard. Cheers. Jimenez. What you'll care about most is which one is going to play Ipswich next week. I think it's probably Jimenez. I think, personally. But I wouldn't be comfortable with that, personally. FPL Spartan says, hi, James. Hope you had a good Christmas. Bench one of Bowen, Semenyo or João Pedro. Semenyo, mate. Robert Pugsy says, sell Johnson to Murphy and João Pedro to Watkins for a -4 and a bigger benching headache or roll. I think, yeah, we let some really good Jacob Murphy fixtures go, and now we're steaming into it. I think I'm going to compare him to Iwobi, right? And I've been saying this about Iwobi for a while. Like, cool, yeah, great. You've had a good little run. It won't last. That's how I feel about Jacob Murphy. Also, remember, very importantly with Jacob Murphy, where do Newcastle probably most want to buy a player? If Newcastle went and spent big money, where are they spending it this month? Oh, right winger. Because I've been trying to buy a right winger for about 3 years. So, no for me on Murphy, mate. FPL Spartans, hi James, that's what I've done. Matthew Sutherland, hi James, hope you and your family are well. Should I start Wood or Timber? Attacking player. Miles Strachan says, hi James, looking at free moves for free. Although I'd find a way to play Timber, Matthew. Miles says, hi James, looking at free moves for free. I've got strong bench cover. Trent and Munoz or Canate. It's gonna be Munoz at the moment, isn't it? Bumo to Sarr and Pedro to Havertz or Watkins, or could just go Bumo to Gordon. I quite like your free moves, Miles. Can't pronounce your name, mate, because it's not in English letters, so I don't know what it says. Apologies. Hi, James. Who would you start, Sells or Sanchez? They're both on the bench in dilemma. Also, the best third defender for the long term between Milenkovic, Hall, Munoz. Again, if you're buying now, Crystal Palace, your timing is right, isn't it? So Munoz for me, mate. Alex says, hey, James, play Rogers or Murphy? Rogers. Thomas Jones, good morning, James. Would you play Raul or Bumo? Probably Jimenez, based on assumption that you've got Arsenal defensive. If you don't, Bumo probably. Neil B, this afternoon, James, which two would you start out? Robinson, Aina, Jimenez, Johnson and Timber, please. Start two from that. So Jimenez, you're not leaving that out. And from the rest, Timber for me, again, Arsenal defensive. But I'd say that because as well, I haven't got Johnson in my predicted Tottenham team, so I think that's right. Vivek says, hi James, would you take a hit to do Greaves to Munoz to bench? I feel like I've done that, mate. Or my smoking crack. Hit to Greaves to Munoz. No, I feel like I've done that. The answer's no, mate. Zuby says, good afternoon, James. I know you're probably going to say start the attacker, but with João Pedro's recent performances, that might have changed to start João Pedro or Robinson. Thanks and good luck this week. That's your dilemmas, mate. Ben Thomas says, hi James, best 4.5 million keeper or hold Flecken and Fab. Now, if you've got them two, I'm buying Henderson all day long, mate. Tanky says, thanks James for the streams. 4 million to 100k in 9 game weeks. Nice. Was wondering if I should buy Sarr for Semenyo to bench Rogers this week. I wouldn't force that, mate. Mark Pence says, hi James, hope you're well. Would you sell Vissa to Mateta? Probably not, no. Samson says, punt on Watkins this week. Should start Konsa in defence or get Munoz in and bench Konsa. If people can get to Watkins freely, I think it's worth taking the chance and prioritising that personally. Henriette says, hi James, need your help this week again. Play 2 from Kirkes, Robinson, Lewis, Rain 8 Nori, thanks and good luck. Not 8 Nori. That won't come back and haunt me, will it? No, but seriously, you're not expecting a clean sheet, so you really are demanding of an attack in return. You don't think, despite our problems, that's realistic. I'll be playing Robinson and Lewis from that. Don Pierce says, have added Munoz and Henderson. Should I go for the trifecta and remove Odegaard, Boomer for Saar? No for me. Mr. Was Up played 1. Robinson, Semenyo, attacking player. FPL Haddery says, should I do Dunk to Munoz, but then I bench Enzo? That's a full turnaround for Enzo Fernandez, isn't it? Oh, it's bench against Ipswich. Don't mind the Dunk to Munoz move. But then what, you're playing Munoz over Enzo? Nah. There's a reason why I didn't even bother putting Enzo Fernandez on the bench in dilemmas this week. I presume those who invested have gone, I really want to play him against Ipswich. No? Philip Bell says, Happy New Year, James. Played one of Robinson Kirk's Hall. Robinson. JG says, there's a lot of repetitive in here, guys. And I did say right at the top that the bench and dilemma is going to answer a lot of these questions. I'll happily still give the shout outs. Just kindly delete the questions if the answers are there, yeah. FPL Haddery says, I've done that. JG, morning, James. Love your work. Which two would you bench out of Enzo, Jota and Wood? Already playing Palmer and Jackson. I wouldn't be benching Wood. So, straightforward. Matthew North says, team's solid, but I've got the prosaic partnership of Flecken and Verbruggen. Prosaic? Is that even a word? I'm sure it is, just I don't know it, mate. Thoughts on moving one with a free transfer for either Pickford, future double game or Henderson? Cheers, mate. Good luck. I mean, yeah, been Flecken, mate. But not for free. Fine, no hits. John says, start Jimenez or Elanga. Jimenez, CMP. Hey, James, unfortunate gay owner here. One free transfer, not enough money to get to Munoz. Do I move to Chalobah? Or just start Robinson? Christ alive, why would you not just be happy to start Robinson, mate? Jack Cohen says, already, James, hope you and yours have had a great Christmas. Start 2-3 out of Robinson, Rodgers and Eze. He's to a crack in 2025, the attacking players. I mean, if you're not going to start Eze at home to Southampton, I'd really be in a rush to sell him next week, mate. Yeah, the two attacking players, mate. Alex, MJ87. Hi, James. Defence is Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, Hall, 8 Nori. Would you sell 8 Nori for Munoz and bench Robinson? I'd be tempted. But you don't need to force it, do you? You know, could you brave? I mean, for me, I know 8 Nori, yeah, wing back, cool. Like, how often? You ain't never starting 8 Nori over the rest of that, mate, with the fixtures Wolves have got. So... But then it's just a Munoz versus Robinson call Munoz, Robinson and Hall call every week, because you're never going to want to bench Trent or Gabriel. Do you need it that strong? I don't know. That other 4, I think, is so strong, Alex. Look in a bit more detail at the Fulham Newcastle rotation, but it's a strong case, mate, just to be going at 8 Norrie to like a 3.9 or like Jacob Greaves, mate, and spreading the money. Stefan P says, afternoon, James. Would you play Gabriel Saliba or bench Saliba from Lenkovic? You know the answer to this, all right? I don't even need to answer this, do I, right? It's always going to be play the Arsenal player. Nearly always. Vivek says, hi, James. Would you take a hit to do Greaves to Munoz to bench? Mate, come on, Vivek. You're better than this, mate. You're regularly in here. Liam Doyle says, hi, James. Have 2 free transfers. Need to move Saka on. Also have João Pedro up front. What would you suggest? Hope you're having a great festive season. Love the content. I mean, João Pedro to Watkins and Saka down to Ismail Assar range. Sounds good, Liam. Don't know exactly how much money you've got. Tom G says, hi, James. And selling Evan Nilsson this week. I have 3.3 million in the bank, but only 1 free transfer. So I want someone I can keep long term. Havertz, Solanke or Mateta. Who do you think is my best bet? I'm going to say Havertz from that group, mate. Andrew Gronin says, switch keepers to Pickford today. Would you still start Wood, attacker versus defender, or start Ahmed instead? Wood. Maybe he'll save a penalty from Pickford and would have scored a rebound. Paul Skulls, hopefully not eating toenails, says, start Enzo or João Pedro. The attacker, mate. Hanny says, hi, James. Bench Rodgers, Enzo, Jesus. Probably Rodgers, reluctantly. Dave M. Afternoon, James. Start one of Lewis, Robinson, Mikalenko. All on the bench in dilemmas. Yeah, I think roll, mate. Although I'd be sick of... Personally, if I'd be sick of Lewis, it'd be like, enough, man. And I'd go Munoz, personally. But I think he starts and I think he gets returns today. Moab Gayed says, Watkins and Munoz versus Trent and Jackson. Watkins, Munoz for me. Swordsman, mainly because I preferred Muna's saving versus Trent and want to shoot myself for buying Trent last week. Swordsman007 says, who do I bench between Pedro, Mikalenko, Timbo, Enzo? Mikalenko, mate. Ketan Chopra, morning James. Don't ask how I reached here, but Gabriel Vardy, I'll bench one. You haven't reached there, mate. The answer for that is, I'm trying to think, strongest free hit you could have this week would be what? Trent, Gabriel, Vardy. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, would I actually pick Munoz over Gabriel or Vardy this week? No, I don't think so. No, so I mean, those, it's a different answer, mate. It's a different answer. Truthfully, I'm not leaving Gabriel out any game. So there's your answer. But yeah, I think the other answer lies within your team, mate. Ahmed Abdella says, James, would you start Rodgers or Jesus? Bit trickier because we can't be sure of a Jesus start, right? Rodgers. Basically because of that, the expected mins. Stan Emerson, hey James, is now the time to move off triple Arsenal defence, i.e. Timber to Munoz, with a hardening of the fixtures, or keep given Saka is out, another third Arsenal options aren't appealing. Good luck. Oh, yeah, I think you can sell that narrative either way, mate. It's a very fair and reasonable question. Yes, I think the next 3 or 4 are tougher for the defensive players. But I still think the right combination long term will be 2 defensive, 1 attack. Or just 2 defence, I think. There's so many other good options. You're seeing this, right? People asking about benching Vardios and Munozes and Robinsons and Halls. And like, there's so many other good ones. Do you need to go to treble up? If you had to have 3 Arsenal now, would you? If I had to have 3 Arsenal now, I'd put Havertz in, I think. And if I could have got to Havertz rather than Solanke this week, I think I would have. So there's my answer. Armo says VDB to Mikalenko for free is stuck third bench. Yeah, sure. Why not? Double game it on the horizon for Everton. Bertka says bringing Watkins in, but who should make way? João Pedro or Evan Nilsson? Sorry, I'm double glancing at fixtures, not ignoring your question. I'd still have a Nilsson, personally. James Wright says smash the like all. Yeah, cheers, mate. Smash the like all. What percentage are we on with it? Half hour in, the first time I've asked people to smash the like. Not even 20% of you smash the like. Come on. Let me see the heart scarf the chat here, kids. Make my day. It's like last deadline stream of 2024. If you've enjoyed the deadline streams this year, or even just one of them, or even just this one, smash a like. Hundreds. Hearts. Cheers. Appreciated. I'm never going to make it as a sound extra, am I? Elliot says, Merry Christmas, James. Bench 1 of Hall, Castagne, Timber, Gabriel. It ain't going to be the Arsenal players playing and Boomer if that makes any difference. No, I'd still just take it as it is. Hall is the answer. John says, unless you've got Semenyo, in which case that's a different answer, as it's proved for me. I've lost my place in the questions. Everyone should unlike the stream. If you haven't submitted your question, guys, there's a strong chance I'm not going to get to you because there are so many in here. No one's got better things to do on a Sunday, which is completely understandable. What do we want to do on a Sunday? We want to play FPL, watch football, don't we? Right. I'm miles behind here and very much lost my place in the thread, which I'm going to find soon. I promise. The problem is, Vivek, I feel like I've seen your question about 5 times, mate. Gosh. Sorry, I've completely lost where I was in the questions, and I don't want to skip anyone. That's not helpful from YouTube. Thanks. Right. That I remember doing ages ago about Bruno Bloody Fernandes. Done that. The 3 moves for free. That was a while ago. Sorry, this is terrible content, but yeah, it's my channel. Mr. Was Up. Surely that was a while ago. Jurgen, I don't remember getting to. Vivek, what is going on here, mate? Unfortunate gay owner did that. Selling Evan Nilsson did that. If I should just leave for a different stream now. James, right. Here we go. Elliot, we've just done. John on wildcard. Nico Williams or Euro to buy for the bench strength. Cheers, mate. Hit that like. Nico Williams. Patrick Benjaminson. Hi, James. Enzo out for Sarah. Gordon. Already got Palmer, Jackson, Isak, and Hall. Good timing for Palace. If you don't like it, you can go to Gordon in 2. Jerry Darmy says, hello, Jimbo. I have one free transfer, 0.7 in the bank. We should do Kirkos to Munoz or Semenyo to start or roll. Happy early new year and thanks for the 2024 content. Kirkes to Munoz, I'd be very tempted. Prashan says, hi, James. Enzo to Gordon or Jota to Gordon or Pedro to Mateta. I don't think that those of us who've gone Jota, if we can hold at the minute, I think that's the better play at the moment. So Pedro to Mateta. I'm Walsh. Likes people. Smash them. I hope the Christmas went well, mate. Happy New Year. You too. Trim says, been Flecken for Henderson and just rolled the transfer. Hope Flecken starts. Make the transfer, mate. Rhino says, just saw the captaincy poll. Guess that answers the habits question then. Yep. Eros Milicevic says, would you start Saliba and Robertson over Robinson? Yes. Roseanne says, you're at the FPL Cup, mate. Oh, nah. I need like a violin sound effects because everyone knows how much I care about the FPL Cup. USF 1324 says Enzo or Rogers. Enzo. Tom G start Amad Diallo. Enzo. Jody Watson. Maybe I should have put Enzo on the bench in dilemmas. Jody Watson says, hi James. Hope you've had a good Christmas. Would you take a -4 doing João Pedro to Watkins? Rest of the team is sorted. We'll do Cunha to Mateta next week. Can you Spurs? No. Because they're playing each other. You know what that burn is. No. 3 all day long. Hit. Can it wait till next week? You still make the transfer next week, can't you? So you're asking, does it pay straight away? I'm going to say no. Samson Barretto, start Rico Lewis or Consa Rico Lewis. Shafwan says, would you take a hit to get Foden for... No, my goodness, no. Stephen Moore says, hi James, start one of Castagna, Colwell, Mikalenko, Colwell. Jamie Van Dam, don't want to take the chance with Jota this week. I explained at the start, mate. Melon Musk says, Saliba, Sarr, and Jackson or Munoz, Foden, Wood. Just not the Phil Foden option, mate. Zedonk1 says Pickford, Sells or Henderson. Thanks, mate. Henderson for me. Alex Trembath, my buddy, says, hi, James. Hope you're having a great day. Do you think the FPL community has been slow to adjust this season to the new rule on storing up 5 transfers and how it changes the strategy dynamics? No, I think everyone's kind of learning on the job. I think everyone principally would go, yeah, I'd like to have more transfers, but it's hard not to use them, isn't it? It takes quite a bit of restraint. And also, I think I was a bit nervous for me in pre-season, Alex, that I would be like, no, I've got to get to 5 free transfers. And I've never been close, right? I've been up to 3 is the highest I've been. And I felt it could be something that was detrimental to me. So I'd be like, look at me, I'm the cool kid. I'm planning ahead. I got 5 free transfers. It's never quite had that luxury this year. So no, I wouldn't say that, Alex. James Wright says, best 3 strikers on wildcard, Isak, Cunha and Watkins. Truthfully, if I was on wildcard, I wouldn't go Cunha. I would go Isak, Jackson and Watkins. Rake says, hi mate, happy new year to you, the family and all the team, and thanks for your insight. Which one would you bench of these 6? Can I just say the player, because I feel like I've been going around in circles on this shit, so I'm going to say Robinson. Eddie says start one of Jota, Rogers, Timber. I'm going to say Rogers. Jerry Dharma, you. If I get Munoz in my earlier question, I can't remember that, mate. Start one from Robinson or Mikalenko. Robinson. Michael here, happy new year. I can't get to Munoz, so do you think Chalobah is a decent punt? If not, what is the best option under 4.4? Already I have a Fulham defender. The answer could still be Timothy Castagna, though. To answer your question, Michael, that's the answer. When are their fixtures bad enough, Fulham, that you'd go, oh my god, this is awful? Like, you know, could you play Robinson at Newcastle in 24? I think the answer is still Castagna, mate. Nasty Biscuit Box, who should I bring in from Matoma for free? I have 5 million in the bank. Does that mean you've got to buy under 5 million, or does that mean you've got like 11 million to spend? Like, if you can get Cole Palmer, mate, I'd probably do that. Otherwise, at this moment, the form horse is going to be something like Gordon or Luis Diaz, or come down to like Ismail Assar. That's probably the right move, isn't it? Mitoma to Sarr, and then see if you can get up to Watkins. Chris K, Merry Christmas to you and yours, James. Saka to Sarr done yesterday. 1 free transfer. Pedro to Watkins, or Havertz or Roll. Yep, to Watkins. Daniel Parcell, Pedro to Watkins with 1 free transfer. Yep. Roseanne says, should I play Bowen, or do Bowen and Kudos out for Foden and Andreas Pereira? You're something else, Roseanne. I love you lots. Happy New Year. Melon Musk says, would you do Saliba and dribbling to Foden and Munoz, or... Does everybody see something different to what I watched about Phil Foden on Boxing Day? Everybody see something different? Was it just because we've got the money? It's a bit of that, isn't it? Why has no one asked me about Sonny? Or has everyone got the message? I'd prefer to buy Son than Foden. There you go. I said it. There you go. I said it. The other option, FPL Borat. Hey James, who would you bench out of Rodgers, Bowen, and Jackson? Out of that lot, it's got to be Rodgers. Jackson could be bench, mate, but no, I'm not benching that. Ross Cordenley says Semenyo to Sarr, Eze, Sarr definitely preference, or João Pedro to Watkins, prioritise Watkins, mate. Eddie says, I've got Jota too. How long do you think we're looking at before we start starting, thinking of moving on, but want to keep? Hopefully today, even though I've benched him, I really hope he starts. And then, like I said, I think there'll be clarity after the Manchester United game. I think the clarity will come after that. So if we can afford to hold, that's what we should do at the moment, I think. But as always, play it your way. Eddie says, I've just done that. FPL Frost, Hydgen, smash that like button. Thank you. I can't because it's my stream, but I appreciate the sentiment. Smash a like, please, everyone. Meninda Prihar says, who do you rate more as a Bruno replacement, Gordon or Sarr, or somewhere else you'd go? But if you're just looking at those two players equally, I'm going to say Gordon, aren't I? But there's a reason that he costs 1.5 million more, mate. That's the reality. And look, you could punt Sarr for this week and then change your mind if you want, for example. Shout out for our patrons, by the way. If we've got any Man City team news or anyone else going around, drop me a message on Slack, tag me in, and we'll get the information shared. Sorry, I was just reading something which is also nothing. We are 18 minutes from deadline. By the way, guys, I am going to cut the stream at 1 o'clock today because there's only one train an hour and there's somewhere I've got to be, because I'm a glutton for punishment. Next up is Sebastian Elgar Cox. I love your name more this week than I did last week, mate. Play Robinson and roll Hall first bench, or Munoz in. 1 free transfer only. But yeah, I'm not selling either of them. Do you need v want? I used to discuss this a lot in Sky Fantasy, right? It's need versus want. So Daniel Munoz, nearly every single one of us, I think now, and it won't be all of us, admittedly, but the majority of us will go, I'd love to have Daniel Munoz right now. Definitely. Do you need it? I want him. I don't need him. Look at my team. What am I selling? Can I make my squad better to put him in? Yeah. But do I have other issues like Jota and, I had to get forward in for João Pedro? Other more pressing issues and matters. If you want Munoz and that's the best solution, do it. But I think in many cases, and this is a good example of it, you don't need it. Because what you also have is also very good. Getty says, sell Timber or Gabriel for Munoz. Perfect example. The answer is neither. Neither. I'm not selling them Arsenal players, mate. If you had to, then it's Timber. Ahmed says, start one of Iwobi and Rodgers. Rodgers, genuinely, mate. Josh telling, hey, James, hope you and the family had a lovely Christmas. Cannot see Enzo on benching Dylan. Would you bench one of Rodgers or João Pedro to play Enzo? Yeah, I mean, I probably would, as I covered a little bit earlier, I probably would play Enzo Fernandez over Rodgers, yeah. FPL Gold Galazzo, good afternoon, FPL Top Advisors. Have a great game week. Smash the like button, you mags. Cheers, mate. Yeah, smash the like button, everyone. Be hugely appreciated. Well, coming up to sort of 40% of you smashed the likes. Truly appreciate it, guys. Last one at 2024. Let's go. Tom Sleeman says, are there any good midfielders 5 million or below? There will be soon. And it's the same. Can you guess like I did on the last stream? Eyes on the prize for Oscar Bob, guys. When he's back, the answer to your question, Tom, is probably not no, so you may as well just go to Dibbling. Hamza Chowdhury is 4.3 for anyone who's really desperate. Joey B93G, morning. Rogers or Enzo to start? Kind of covered, mate. Enzo. Cameron says, hi James, what do you think of a move from Timber to Munoz to save 1 million for Cunha to Jackson next game week? I have Gabriel as well, and no injuries or other major issues. Hold that double Arsenal defence. He's going to be my strong reaction to that. What if Cunha's not banned next week? I mean, it's got to be a possibility. I think this will be his last game, right? But that's got to be a possibility, hasn't it? It's really got to be a possibility. Next up, Darmin, go with the forward, mate. Frederick Hertz, Pedro to Havertz for a hit. No. Hit, no. Free, yes. Hit, no. Jonathan Nagy, afternoon, James, bench 1. Gordon Mateta, Sarah, Rogers. You're smoking, mate, but Rogers. Come you Spurs. Toolis says, hi, James. Happy New Year. Rogers or Jacob Murphy. I played Rogers. Scodger says, I have Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, Hall. Should I sell Hall for Munoz so I can rotate Rob and Munoz? Why can't you just rotate Rob and Hall, mate? Have a look at Newcastle's fixtures from Gameweek 21, mate. Keep Lewis Hall. Frankie says, James, you saved me from doing Cunha to Jackson last week. God's work. Cheers. You're very welcome, mate. I just remember, there's no way I get 100% of the answers on this stream right. There's plenty I get wrong, mate. Ryan Kettlestring says, hi, James. Hope you and the family had a great Christmas. Milenkovic or Robinson? Swaying towards Milenkovic. No, still Robinson. There's a narrative there with Adam Smith injured and Fulham's bias towards outside. Still more upside, I think, in that. Everton obviously defends set pieces better than most. Joey, Lewis to Munoz or Bank and play Lewis Hall. Yeah, the repetitive Lewis Hall, mate. Kate. Josh McRae says, would you do Ray and 8 Norrie to Munoz for free? Yeah, that's more of a, yeah, okay. Have Semenyo and João Pedro on the bench. I mean, I'd play both of them over Munoz, I think. Yeah, genuinely. Bogdan, hi James, all the best in 2025. Well, couldn't you ever be banned? I expect it this week, mate, but don't go early on your transfers. Because if he stays fit, then he's a keep for a little bit, isn't he? Bogdan says, hi James, all the best. Thank you, mate. Free FH 200 667 says, punt on Foden, Fernandez out. Not keen, mate. I'd rather put 4 million in the bank, I think. Almost Seco says, hello, sir. On the Gameweek 19 pod, why not Salah, Gakpo, Diaz as the first choice front three? Why the certainty Jota will take a spot, and why haven't his minutes increased after return? Well, Almo, if you have a look at the predicted lineup, that is the front three that I predicted for Liverpool, what you said. So, yeah, I've changed my mind, thought about it a bit more. I'm entitled to. Everything's not always black and white. Sometimes there's some colour in my thinking as well, mate. Hence why I put Jota on the bench. So, yeah, it's fine. That is it, mate. I don't know what else to say. Mohammed says, any worry on Jackson bench? Listen, you could have that about the majority of players. Salah might get benched this week. Palmer might get benched. We're going to do this. There's no point. Most teams, well, in fact, nobody. Everybody who plays today or Monday has got at least a 5-day gap. Why are they going to mass rotate? FPL Frost going against Isak this week. No returns against United previously. Surprised you're playing Semenyo over Jota. I'm playing best of luck, and best of luck to you too, mate. Listen, if Jota outscores Semenyo this week, as long as it's not like 2 versus 1, I'll be happy. You said to me now, right, Semenyo's going to get a 5-pointer. Jota's going to play against West Ham, and he's going to do really well and get a goal and assist, and he's there on the bench. Trust me, I'll be more happy about it than unhappy, because I'll be like, yes, decision is good moving forward. That'll be way more important to me. Jamie Van Dam says, hey James, would you move Jota to Gordon next week? Thanks. As per, no, not at the moment. The Flying Naga, I have Pedro and Bowen. Would you suggest to play Pedro or take a -4 for Bowen to Eze Sarr? No, I'll play Bowen. Jamie Baker, hi James, who would you buy out of Raul and Muniz? Won't be playing them this week, but need the funds. Jimenez, I think, at the moment, but clearly there's enough doubt going about. I can tell these in the questions, so maybe that answers it in itself, that it should just be someone else, mate. Frankie says start Robinson or Colwill, mate. I've gone with Colwill, but I think that's close. I personally Colwill, just about. AP UK says why Salah captain, please, and what is your reasoning for not Palmer? I think Salah scores more points. It's fucking rocket science, this game. Tallest, I've done that, mate. Repeat questions just get muted in here, mate. Galazzo says, hey James, what do you think of Watkins as an option? My goodness, we've been here on this stream today. Dave Hannigan, is a -4 Pedro to Watkins worth it? I'm going to say no on the hit. Eno, Estor, Sanchez or Colwell on wild card. Neither. I think there are better options at other teams, i.e. Henderson at Palace, Munoz, Castagne, Lewis Hall, Arsenal player, Liverpool player. Yeah, it's neither, I don't think, actually, on wildcard, believe it or not. And I think most Chelsea fans will probably tell you that as well. Yordis says best Mitoma replacement this minute, assuming you have to come down Sar. AP UK Wade was once not enough, mate. Henriette, would you bench João Pedro for Jota? Have a good game, which is would I? Probably not. No. Jerry W, how would you compare Charlton under Kirbishley to the current Premier League sides? Is it comparable to Bournemouth when it comes to financial stature and causing big teams trouble home and away? Such a different era. We're going back 20 years here, basically, aren't we? Plus, there's two sides to this. One, Charlton only really truly threatened to qualify for Europe kind of once, really. And it's still only halfway with Bournemouth, right? And they might have a drop off and might still finish bottom half. So I don't think we can truly make those sort of comparisons yet. Bournemouth also spend better than the size of their club, if you will, with respect. And Charlton got to a stage where they started spending very competitively with mid-table teams in the Premier League, right? But I don't think we quite made that comparison yet. It's a fair question. Nothing wrong with the question, mate. I don't think we can quite make the comparison yet, though. Charlton became a careful what you wish for. Many of them wanted Kirbishley to move on, and it went sideways from there. And as Sorensen says, hey, would you start Castagne Hoyland? SH1M1, Newcastle beating United. Okay, thanks for sharing. Craig Wilson says, Haaland cap for a 1 week punt. This is where we're at with Haaland now. 1 week punt. Bruno to Murphy and Jackson to Haaland for free. If it's shit, move to Watkins. Craig, I wish you to have a great weekend, mate. So that's all I want to say. Andro Youssef, I'm going to say João Pedro, mate. King of Mandalore, any reason why my question was ignored? Didn't even attempt to read it out or say it's just being skipped, just ignored, just curious, no harm, no foul. Not intentional. That's the only thing I can say, mate. Not intentional. I did lose my place in the questions at one stage, mate. So wasn't intentional. Please don't take it that way. I've just read this one out, so clearly I'm not ignoring you intentionally, mate. So apologies. James Hill says planning on starting Jota, but after Slot's comments, I'm considering Boomo to Gordon and benching Jota. Worth it. Should I just play Boomo? Appreciate it. Have a good one. No, just play Boomo. Boomo to Gordon. Yeah, I get it. It's fine. LP says, hi James, play Mateta or Rogers. You're not playing Mateta if you've got Castagno and Milenkovic. Cheers. Yeah. No Bournemouth attacker. I'd probably play Castagno. Neba J, I'm a Liverpool fan. I think Jota starts. Yeah, cool. Rogers, I hope he does. I genuinely really hope he does. I'm going to be sitting here going, oh, you dickhead, James. I really hope he does, mate. Rogers says, would you sell Bruno and Wood to Sarr and Watkins for a -4? Yes. Faraz Lutos says, hi, James. Had Flecken and Fabianski's. Had to use my only free transfer to bring Henderson in. Would Pedro to Jackson for -4 be worth it or give him one final week? I mean, it's one final. Danny says, morning, James. If you could only play one, would you play Hall, Ahmed, or João Pedro forward? Marco says, hi, James. Firstly, I wish you a happy 2025 in advance. As for my question, which players would you say are a must-own other than Salah, Palmer, and Isak? Good luck in the game week. There's no such thing as a must-own, mate. You got the wrong stream, pal, honestly. So I don't do essentials, mate. You had a guy who wants to punt Haaland for a week, right? And wants to take other people on. All I got to say is good luck, right? You got more cojones than me. Don't do essential, mate. Anybody generally sits here now is like, Actually, no. I think Salah's kind of hit the highest explosion point, and now he's about to drop off. Sell him. Or maybe not sell him, but go against captaincy, right? Don't do essentials here, mate. On the face of it, most teams right now got Salah, Palmer, Isak, yeah? That's probably where it's going to be at the moment. But to use the E word, I won't have it, mate. Even under this circumstance with Mo Salah, and people can think that's absolutely nuts. I say it all the time. No one is going to win FPL by doing exactly the same thing as everybody else. Now, the person who does win FPL, do you know what? Right now, they've probably got those 3 players. But at some point, they will have to make at least one decision that is different to the template to win this game. So, nothing is essential, mate. Zongwen. No, that's a lie. Shane Hooley. Hi, James. Start Jota or Enzo. Enzo, reluctantly. Tallest. Sarr, Rogers, Iwobi, Murphy, Sarr. I don't understand the question. Faris says, hi, James. Bench one of Rogers, Pedro, Semenyo. They're all on the bench in dilemmas, mate. Adam M says, happy Christmas, James. Fellow South Stand scene to get older. I'm East Upper, mate. Do you think Decky will get moved back to centre mid with Gray and Biss moving to centre back? How much do you think it affects his FPL output? Come you Spurs. The thing with Decky, like, he's been on a decent streak, but I feel like he could just go cold really quickly. Because we've had that before where he's gone like 8-9 games without a goal. And I think it's been like that. So, yes, I think Maddison plays today. So I think it's Kulusevski probably back out wide today. I don't think there's a huge impact to him in terms of where he plays on the potential returns. Maybe a little favouritism to Central. But I also think there's an impact to whether Maddison plays or not. So I actually think Maddison playing is probably good for Kulusevski returns, ironically. Just because Maddison draws a little bit more attention. There's loads of layers to that. But I think as an FPL asset, Kulusevski remains purely punty, personally. Zongwen, good morning, James. Would you keep Vardio or move to Munoz for the only free transfer? You kept Vardio up to the one point that I'm sitting here going, do you know what? I fancy City for a clean sheet today. Keep him, mate. Michael Scott, hi, James. Hope you had a good C. Well, it wouldn't be for me to say in public, mate, but yeah, sure. Matthew M says, hi, James. Bench one of Jota, Lewis, Colwell. Sorry, can't see Colwell on the bench in dilemmas. I would bench Lewis out of that. Yeah, I mean, I would still punt Jota to start over most defensive assets. Sorry, Jota for points over most defensive assets. That's my take. Sorry, I didn't say that very well. Moheb, I would go Colwell over Aina. Jay Lee, hey James, does Castagna come above Hall in benching order too? No, they're different. But yes, sorry, no, that he's different to Robinson. But yes, he probably still does. The reason I've gone Hall over Robinson on my bench is because I'm starting Semenyo. That's the only reason why. I mean, it's close enough. So yeah, I probably would put Castagna a little bit above Hall this week. Yeah. We are 3 minutes from deadline, guys. As far as I'm aware, there is not any information going around about the Manchester City team. Bradley Parker, be better than getting done. I mean, even the Athletic got done by Boona this week. But yes, please be careful. There is a Lewis bench and Foden bench. It's our friend Boona. What a hero he is. Love that man. Bradley Parker, be better. Can everybody in the FPL channel on Slack tell Bradley Parker James said be better? Yeah. So yeah, that's not true. I mean, it's not to say it's not going to happen, but if you're seeing that rumor going around, that is not true. That's Boona on a stitch up. Chewy FPL says on a wild card this week, stuck between whether to go with Foden and Vardio or Gordon and Trent. Have 3 free transfers. The non-Foden route. Guessy says play Enzo or Strand Larson, I think. David James Whiteway took out Jota and Lewis for Gordon and Munoz bench. Enzo or Gabriel. I'm still picking Gabriel. Malcolm says, hi James, need help. Play 2 from Colwell, Chalobah, Ahmad, Rogers and Pedro. Thanks and good luck. It's arguably just the attacking players, mate. Get on with it. Aaron McCalden started Iwobi or Semenyo. Do you know what? Bollocks, man. Double down, James. Play Semenyo. Murat says, hi, James. Where would you put Enzo in your bench in dilemmas? Thanks for the great content. I would put him above Mbumo and below João Pedro. There you go. It looks like from the questions I should have stuck him in but there's a lot of players reluctantly had to get left out this week. I'm going to skip the questions, guys. It's nothing personal. It's just because of things like Charles Sabaton at the bottom saying any leaks. We're a minute from deadline. And as far as I'm aware, Charles, absolutely nothing going round. And I think that is also deadline hit as well. And Dominic Solanke is in my FPL team, which is good to know. No, maybe got a few seconds to go to deadline, but no, nothing. Gabriel's a better threat than Saliba, David, to answer that question. João Pedro of Mitoma sacking. I'm just checking that we haven't got anything coming in about Manchester City. As far as I'm aware, absolutely nothing at the moment. Nothing that's reliable and concrete at this stage anyway. We are now at 1 o'clock, I believe, people. That is deadline done, as Ryan says. Good luck, everyone. I'm not going to do a Q&A bit this week because there's a bus I'm getting on in 8 minutes. And it will take me 3 minutes to get there. So smash your like, hit the sub button. In terms of content next week, I can tell you deadline stream will be 11 a.m. next Saturday morning on January the 4th. And that will also be ending, no, not 11 o'clock, sorry, 10 o'clock. That will also be ending at 11 o'clock because early kickoff again, right? So I'll be straight out the door at 11, but I will do a deadline stream next Saturday. In terms of content this week, I can tell you our big quiz of 2024 will be out tomorrow lunchtime, 12:30 p.m. on YouTube. It will drop. Big fat quiz of 2024 hosted by Tom Campbell, something a bit laid back and relaxed for you to enjoy on your Monday. We're going to hold the game review pod till Tuesday so we can incorporate the free games Monday night. That feels way more important than putting it out on Monday. No content Wednesday because it's New Year's Day, so it's a bank holiday here in the UK. Thursday clash of correspondence is Tottenham versus Newcastle with Ricky Saunders, Simon Bibby. Ask James stream on Friday, time to be confirmed. If you want to support the show, it's www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Do it because you want to support the show or because you want the additional content, which I can tell you podcast this week will include a Q&A on Monday. Clayton and I doing the transfer window show on Tuesday. Also doing Tottenham Arsenal on Thursday, which include a full reflection on Arsenal's performance at Brentford on Wednesday. And we'll have our Gameweek 20 preview podcast on Friday. If you want to support the show, it's www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Just leaves me finally to say thank you very much, everybody, for all the support on YouTube in 2024. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. Have a happy new year. Enjoy the quiz tomorrow. Have a great game week, everyone. Ciao for now.